But when we were talking about female fashion designers, there is only one name, really, that keeps tripping off the tongue of all the celebs, and that is Tracy Boyd. Now, from dressing Dannii Minogue to Dame Judi Dench, no less, the award-winning designer is renowned for her floaty feminine fashions. One of her biggest fans is Louise Rednapp. She spent a day with her to get a sense of her style.
I'm here in fashionable Chelsea, West London, and in the 1960s it was renowned for being the capital of style. And let me tell you, not much has changed in the last 50 years. Featuring some of the chicest shops in town, it's also home to one of my favourite fashion designers, Tracy Boyd. Tracy Boyd is the founder and sole designer of Boyd, a collection of beautifully British, feminine yet fuss-free clothes. The label began in 1996, when Tracy combined her vast talent for illustrating with her passion for fashion. Tracy knew she had made it when in 2000 she beat her fellow designers Stella McCartney and Matthew Williamson to win the New Generation Designer at the British Fashion Awards. Known for using British supermodels on her catwalk, she now has a huge celebrity following, ranging from Dannii Minogue to our own queen of drama, Dame Judi Dench. And today she's invited me to her and her husband's beautiful London home.
I absolutely adore this space, and it's filled with loads of things that I've collected with him from all over the place.
I can just tell from walking in instantly that you've got a real eye for home design as well.
Yeah, it's something that I've actually started doing a range for Empire, and my first homeware collection's coming out next year. So just really looking forward to it. I'm surrounded by all the things that I love and collect, which help me kind of, I'll walk around and look at tapestries and cushions, and all of those things are part of the design process. It never stops. So come and sit down and I'll show you what I'm up to at the moment.
So what actually made you want to get into fashion? How did it kind of all get started?
It firstly came out of not finding something that I particularly had in my mind that I wanted to wear and not being able to find it in the shop. So I've always very much designed for myself, and it sort of sprouted from that.
So it wasn't something that you necessarily wanted to get into from a very young age, it just kind of happened.
I wanted to be a painter, and I was an illustrator for a long time, doing children's books and things like that. So, but it was always the costumes and stuff that interested me, and so it's always been a sort of bit of a mixture. And now I'm doing my prints and stuff, it's very much that I can bring the illustration back into the fashion.
Now I know that a lot of your clothes have featured in some huge films like Love Actually, Bridget Jones and About a Boy. How does it feel when you actually see your clothes on the big screen?
You're kind of like, my goodness, that's my top, and also, and then I used to make Adrian wait to the bitter end to watch the credits go up. I'm like, there's my name.
Your name. So I'd imagine it feels even better when you're just walking down the road and you see somebody in your clothes and they've gone into a shop and actually bought it out of a rail of other clothes. That must be a great feeling.
It is, actually. That gives me the biggest buzz of all, I think, because someone's gone out, saved their money and chosen your piece of clothing out of a sea of hundreds of designers, and I kind of have to stop myself from running up to someone going, do you really like that? I designed that. I'm so pleased you bought it.
So can you tell me a bit about where you get your inspiration from?
Well, I've got my studio, so I'd love to show you through all the drawings and things.
Gorgeous.
I start with my pictures and the prints, and then design the actual garment.
Oh, okay. So I don't think many people realise that you start from scratch like that. I think I just assumed you bought a piece of fabric with the pattern on it and made
a lot of people do. So this season I was very inspired by this glassmaker called Emile Gallet, who did these gorgeous flowers, and I'll take an idea like this flower and then probably do 4 of them, which then get pieced together, and we scan them into the computer, put a repeat down, and then play around with the sizes and the colours and the drop-in backgrounds, and then we'll end up with something like that.
So once the print and design's finished, what's next?
Well, we take the collection to our showroom, and then we actually make appointments with the media and press to come and see the collection.
Okay.
And then we start selling, and then later on the clothes end up in the shops. And this is the Boyd Autumn-Winter collection that we've been talking about. This is kind of from the background ombre chiffon, like the shaded colours of the vase. And then I wanted to make like a midnight silhouette of flowers and leaves and stuff, which is what Gallet is very much into. Yeah. It's quite a long-winded process because once they have to dip dye this by hand, so that would take probably a day to dry, and then you've got to do about a day beading.
Oh god, okay,
so it's quite a heavy amount of work.
I know that in the past you've collaborated and you've made your clothes slightly more accessible.
Yes.
Are you planning on doing any more of that in the future?
I'm doing a lovely range called Tracy Boyd's Empire, and this is available through a catalogue called Empire Stores.
Right.
This is one of the winter ones, which is just beautiful. This would cost about £90, as opposed to my main line, which is probably nearer about £300.
Okay.
And I wanted to do a range that is very much, you know, the flavour of Boyd, so I don't want to do a sort of cheap and nasty version of it, you know.
So what's next for you?
Well, I've got this really exciting new range of handbags and accessories, and that's something I've never done before, and that's going under the name of Charming for the OK Boutique, starting in Debenhams, which is end of September.
Right.
And it's a whole range with like printed linings and all the embroideries on these beautiful handbags and hats and gloves and scarves.
I love handbags, so I'm very, very excited. But where are you going to take me off to now?
I'm going to take you to one of my favourite shops where you're going to see the main Boyd collection for autumn-winter. Well, this is Ustique, and it's a good representation of how we put the collection together.
So who would you say is the kind of real typical Boyd wearer?
Well, I don't like to be pigeonholed into any one group of people. I really think I'm a women's designer for women. So it's any girl from 20 to a woman of age 70 or 80. They've got their own personal sense of style.
I know, I didn't come here to shop, but when you are this close to temptation, it's really hard to resist.
Very good.
There was a hole in her credit card when she got home that day.